Hey, we are live. Welcome to Automate to Scale. This is day number 3. I am your host, Rosalie Odouin, and I'm here to talk to you about how you can grow your business, grow your impact, make your life so much easier by using the power of automation and delegation in your business. So I'm super excited because, we've had the first 2 days and we covered 2 real foundational topics. On the first day, we went over everything to do with automation, what it means, the difference between automation and delegation. The next day, we talked about life cycle marketing and, how you use what the methodology that I recommend, which is life cycle marketing, to determine your priorities in your business and in your marketing and sales process. And today, we're going to talk about one of the most important topics in your business, and it is sales. How to sell effectively and how to use automation to amplify your sales results. So before we get in, I have to do a quick kind of housekeeping. Number 1 is remember to interact with me, okay? All this content I'm offering you is absolutely free. It's my best stuff, okay? Like literally, I don't do anything differently with my clients. We go over this stuff and we implement it step by step and we personalize it so that they can use it in their business and see growth. We have lots of testimonials, lots of clients who have seen their business grow because they're using the methodologies that we teach. And so I really encourage you. I'm giving you all the juice here, okay? So you can plug it into your business. And even if you take one small action, you will see results. The next thing I want to say is, if this is something that resonates with you, and that you think that you need help, because one thing is the knowledge, but another thing is the implementation of it and the specifics and the interest, the specific things that make your business and make it unique. If you want support with that, then I invite you to book a call with me or send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook, and I will more than gladly sit with you and walk you through how that can look like for you and invite you to work with me if it's appropriate. The other thing I was going to say is, don't just binge watch, okay? So because now Netflix culture, we're used to Netflix, we used to watch things on, and watch one and the next and the next and the next episode. And that is not good, okay? You have to watch the episodes, but I encourage you to take action, to stop at each topic, so each block of topic that we cover, that you do the exercises, because that's what is going to move the needle forward for you. All right, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing. I think I've covered all my housekeeping points now. Again, I really, really, truly believe I'm on a mission, okay, to help businesses flourish and grow. It doesn't matter what the economy is, what's happening in the economy. It doesn't matter what's happening in the world. There are people who need what you have to offer. And so if you're not visible, if you're not doing things right, if you're building your business and you're burning yourself out, you cannot achieve that. And so everything that I'm sharing with you today will allow you to get to a point where you are helping people, you are making money, but you also have a life that you can enjoy. All right, so let's dig into sales. So before we go into the nitty-gritty of selling, it's really important that I touch on a massive topic when it comes to selling, that is your mindset, your consciousness around money, your consciousness around wealth, what it means to you. And this is a piece in the puzzle that you might think, well, what does it have to do with selling? Well, it has everything to do when you're a small business in your results and the way that you show up in your sales conversations, the way that you show up in your videos when you're about to do a call to action. it will affect your results. And so if we don't have this conversation, that we're only scratching the surface, and we're not actually helping you and empowering you to get the real results. I have worked with hundreds of people, and I am telling you, you do need the strategy. You do need the technology. You do need the tactics to get you to do the right things. But if you do not have also the mindset, the right mindset to help you get things done in a way that is effective, to help you show up in a way that is authentic and makes you resonate with the people that need what you have to offer, it's not going to work. Okay? So I encourage you to lean into the spot and really get the heart of what I'm saying. So a lot of us, we come from backgrounds where money was not something that was easy, where money is not something that was talked about. There's a certain taboo around money. If you live in the United Kingdom, like I do now, even though it's a wealthy country, the money consciousness in this country is very poor. Like, people don't like talking about money. People feel uncomfortable talking about money. And I used to think that it was only people that didn't have money that felt like that. But I know people that are very wealthy that also feel uncomfortable talking about money. And so if this is you, then there's some reframing that needs to be done in your mindset. If you come from a country that is not a wealthy country like the United Kingdom, for example, for me, I come from Haiti. I'm half Haitian, half Puerto Rican. My background, although I have to say I'm so grateful to God that we never lacked anything, but life was not easy. Growing up, my parents didn't have, everything that they wanted to have. In addition to that, they were change makers, they were leaders, but we weren't wealthy. And so there are some thoughts and ideas around money that really governed the way that I felt, that were not helping me when it came to building my business. And so there's a sense of worthiness that needs to be there. There's a sense of abundance that needs to be there in order for you to have conversations that really don't make you feel awkward when you have them. So signs that you feel kind of icky about money: if when someone talks about money you feel uncomfortable, if when it's time to talk about your prices you feel uncomfortable, if when someone asks you, like point blank, how much is something, and you're like, oh, and you cringe, that's something you need to watch out for. If you think that there's not enough, or the competition's going to take everything that that is a problem, there's something to watch for. So just be aware that alongside the strategy and the things that we're going to talk about here, you may need to do some mindset reframing when it comes to money. Okay? It's really, really important. And again, I'm not about fluff. I'm about really the stuff that is going to move you forward from the foundation onwards. I don't want to just deal with the tip of the iceberg. I want to make sure that deep down, you have everything that you need to actually multiply and scale your business. Okay? So this is really, really important. Okay, so let's move to our topic for the day, which is selling. So as we spoke about, we spoke about this yesterday. So a lead is someone who sees your products and your services. So a lead, let me just put my glasses on so I can actually see. So a lead is basically a person who discovers that you exist and that you may have something that they might want. Okay, they might be interested in what you have to sell. Now, when we talk about lifecycle marketing, yesterday we talked about the fact that when you look at it from the end, you look at it thinking about the end from the beginning, you understand that there's a sequence of events that needs to take place before you actually close a sale. And so the first thing is you get a lead, you capture the details, but then there's a nurturing that needs to take place. And this is what we call lead nurturing. You build know, like, and trust. So because people who buy from you, they need to know what you offer, they need to like what it is that you offer, and they need to trust that you are actually able to deliver what they want. And that you're trustworthy enough for them to give you their card details or their money. Okay, so lead nurturing is something that you do using automation. The follow-up of your leads is one of the most important things and activities that you can do in your business. So many businesses, I have this conversation with small businesses, with medium businesses, with big businesses. The amount of money that is lost in the follow-up stage of the funnel or this customer journey is huge. So the way that we avoid wasting opportunities is by creating automated email sequences, or, depending on the strategies that you're using, contacts, phone calls, direct messages. It doesn't matter the strategy or the tactic that you're using. The strategy is to follow up, and that being one of the most important steps in your marketing activity that you do in a consistent way. So automation allows you to do it on autopilot, right? In a personalized way, but on autopilot. So this is really important. So then we go, when the lead is nurtured, we use automation to make sure that they know who you are, they recognize your authority in your space, that they look at your products and like it. And then the next stage after that is to sell. Now, the selling is the process of converting a lead into an actual paid customer. You don't have a customer if the person's not giving you money, right? This is really, really important. So before you close a sale, either online or offline, you need to qualify that lead. And again, that happens in the nurturing stage of the customer journey, where you're sharing content, you're doing surveys to find out exactly what they like and what they want. You create sequences that basically send people to certain places based on what it is that you're offering, so that you can, when you sell to them, you offer them exactly what they want. But the most important thing to make sure that the lead becomes a customer is that they are qualified. Okay, if your lead isn't qualified, the sales process is going to feel hard and salesy, and you won't sell because it turns, again, they're not sales ready. Do you know what I mean? So the key really is to turning a cold lead, someone who just discovered you, is what we call a cold lead, into a sales ready lead, someone who's ready to give you their money. Right. So what does a qualified lead look like? What is it that makes you see or recognize that a lead is actually qualified? So let's talk about that. So number one, let's start with the fact that they need to be the decision maker, right? So if you're talking to someone in a company, if you're a service provider, for example, and you're talking to to an assistant and you're giving them all the information, they're not the one who makes the decision, right? The assistant typically will possibly present something to her boss, but they're not your person who's going to make that decision. So you want to make sure that you're warming up the right person, number one. Number two, have they identified a problem in their life, their company, that really they know what it is that they want? They're already looking for a solution. Now, this is really key, because if the person hasn't identified that they have a problem that needs solving, the likelihood of them to giving you their money for you to solve that problem for them is not going to happen, right? So it's really important that you make sure that that they are aware that there's a problem and they're actually already looking for a solution. Okay, and this is why your content marketing, your nurturing sequence has to be strategic, so that you really, in that stage of the customer journey, you're really talking about the problem and how you solve the problem, and the challenges that they have, and how these challenges can be fixed with your product and your services. Okay, there has to be a sense of urgency to actually solve the problem. Okay, that's another thing that makes a lead qualified. Like, a lot of people are overweight. That doesn't mean they're looking to solve that problem, right? A lot of people are broke. That doesn't mean they're looking for a solution to fix that problem. A lot of people have terrible relationships, like terrible relationships, but they don't necessarily seek help, right? So there has to be an urgency within that lead to solve the problem that they have in order for them to become a customer. They need to know about your solution. This is another thing that is really crucial, because if they don't know that you exist, then they're not going to become your customer. And number 6, they need to recognize and trust that what you have to offer is exactly what they need. Okay, this is what a qualified lead looks like. It's someone who literally has spent some time watching you on social media, receiving your emails, watching your live video, signing up to your webinars, whatever methodology or tactic you're using to warm up your leads, and has listened to you, and at the right time, they know exactly that they want what you have to offer. A lot of our clients, they book calls with us and they know already that they want to buy, they want to work with us. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't make the decision because we try to convince them. That's what our content does for us. Our content is supposed to tell people, this is what we do, this is how we can help you, here you go. Like, when you're ready, I'm here, I'm ready for you, right? So if you try to sell before the lead is qualified, they will not buy. And depending on what you're selling, some complex products can have a longer sales cycle, but at the end of the day, it's important that you qualify that lead, and before they buy from you, it's really important that they fit into that identity of a qualified lead. Now, let me say, and that will look different for you depending on your business model, the type of business that you are. It will look very, very different. But let me tell you one thing. One thing that always works is having calls with people, actual conversations with people. Okay, this is where you will get your highest conversion rate, will be in having sales conversation with people. Okay. So let's talk about how do they become qualified. So qualification, again, is closing the gap between a cold and a sales ready lead. So what we use to close for that to happen, and the most effective way to fast track that cold lead into sales ready lead is to use marketing automation. And here are 4 ways in which we can use marketing automation to fast track that process. So before I say that, just know, because it's important that you know metrics and stuff like that, which we'll talk about in a minute, it is required. So people, before they decide that they want to work with you, in general, they will need to see you, hear from you, watch your stuff at least 7 times. So they say between 7 and 15 times. People need to see you and see what you're doing and listen to your message. So watch your content and that kind of, just interact with you somehow before they decide to buy from you. Now that is accelerated if you actually have conversations with people, by the way. But anyway, 7 to 15 times online, people need to see your stuff before they decide, okay, I want to buy this option. So 4 ways to automate that and make it amazing. Number 1 is content marketing, social media, white paper, lead magnet, doing live stream, video live streams, that kind of stuff. Okay, that really, really works. Writing articles, doing having some sort of content marketing. A podcast is another example of content marketing. So making sure that you have some sort of content that is coming out of your business in your different platforms on a weekly, regular basis that will get people to know you, like you, and trust you, and will get you to fast track that, get them to become sales ready. Number 2 is email marketing. Hands down is one of the best ways to sell your products, to get people to know, like you, and trust you, to invite people to events, all that kind of stuff. Number 3, sales calls. If your sale requires a big financial commitment, if you're a coach, a consultant, where people are paying you, chunks of money that we're not talking about $49, you know what I mean? Then it's really important that you have some sort of call strategy so that people can talk to you and discover you and get a feel from who you are and what it is that you're offering, in a way that is very, very simple. Number 4, event marketing. Event marketing is one of the best ways. You put on an event and you invite people to buy from. And by the way, let me tell you something about event marketing. The thing with event marketing is that, you will, you position yourself as a leader as well, because you're hosting an event. When you decide to host an event, automatically your authority increases, right? Because not everybody puts on amazing events. You can do this, and it's really, really powerful. It doesn't just have to be you. You can put on an event and it's just you. Like, for example, this week it's an event, but you could invite people, do a summit, have guest speakers. It's an amazing way to qualify leads and to sell to them as well. Okay, now, tools and technology that you need for lead qualification. Number 1, you need a CRM. We talked about this yesterday. Customer relationship management tool, which basically will allow you to track your customer journey, to follow up on, your prospects, so you stay top of mind. Number 3, to track communication. 4, book calls. So you use automation to book calls with people, so you're not back and forth. Well, can you do Monday? No, I can do Tuesday. Can you do 3 o'clock? No, 5 o'clock. That kind of stuff. You use automation for that. You send automated emails and invitations. You ask for feedback. You send surveys. All of this you can do using a CRM. We use Keep, and we're certified partners with them. When you sign up with us, that's one of the benefits that you get, because we teach you how you can build the funnels, on the system. We give you all the copy so that we have templates, so you can just put your own flavor to it, but you know what to put in your emails, what to put in your surveys, all of that stuff. It's all automated, and we've got all the resources and tools ready for you. All right, so this is how you automate your lead qualification and your sales process. And I really encourage you to listen. This is not complicated, I promise you. A lot of people, they think, oh no, I can't think about this whole automation thing, and it sounds complicated. But once it's set up, you just have to think about it strategically, which obviously we teach you how to do. We tell you the framework literally, so you don't really have to think about it too much, except for what's in your context. And then all you have to do is plug and play. And once it's set up, you don't have to worry about it. You review it every 6 months, and that's it, and it allows you things to be happening in your business while you're doing other things, which is the beauty of it. All right. Conversion rates. So let's talk about conversion rates, because I think this is really important for you to have realistic expectations, and you need to know what to expect online. Okay. Some people think, I'm just going to do this now and boom, it's just going to happen magically. And it's not like that. We need to set goals and targets, and we use these parameters and these conversion rates to help you set your goals, so that you have a realistic expectation of what you need to do every single week in order to reach your goals. A lot of times we set goals going, I like to make, for example, okay, so this month I want to make 20,000. And it's like, okay, great. break it down. How are you going to get to that 20,000? You know, goals set without the right strategy and systems behind it do not happen. So conversion rates. So let's talk about when you're selling online. So let's talk about lead generation first. So with lead generation, which means people who get your, you know, you get their attention. So they eyeballs on your office, eyeballs on your social platforms. Okay, so attracting customers, we're talking around 2% of the traffic, that of the people that actually see your offers. Okay, about 2% of them will actually opt in. Now think about this. When you do an ad on Facebook, a 2% click rate is great. It's a start, right? So which means that you can reverse engineer and say, okay, if I need to have 100 leads, if I want to have two people sign up as a lead, then I need to have 100 people see my offers. Okay, but that's just lead generation. Let's keep moving on. So when you send an email to someone, about 20% of the people who receive your email will actually open it. Okay, think about that. Now let's talk about sales numbers. So when you're selling online, about 2% of the people who already are ready to buy, okay, that are leads, that are warm, they know who you are, they kind of like you, they trust that you could do what you do, only 2% of them will actually buy from you when you do a call to action. Okay, now that amount increases when you do phone calls. So typically a phone call would say 30% of the people. If you have a lot of calls, obviously if you don't have that many calls and you're starting out, it could be higher, but let's just be conservative. 30% of the people that you have a sales call with will actually say yes to you. Okay, so then you need to reverse engineer, right? On a sales call, if only 30% of the people will sign up with me. On a webinar, if only 20% of the people will actually buy from me, then what are how many people do I need to attend my webinar? And how many people do I need to sign up with me so I can warm them up and invite them to the webinar? Does that make sense? So there is a process, and there are some very, very, very tangible conversion rates that I am just providing you right now to help you set the right expectations for what you're capable of doing. So now this is when you understand that automating is a non-negotiable, because it will allow you to accelerate your lead generation. So you have more people sign up to your things, so that more people can be nurtured, and so that you can get to that place where you can sell to them, and that 20% or that 2% of people will actually say yes to you, to your offers. Does that make sense? I'm talking fast. I know, I'm on StreamYard and sometimes the messages don't come through, but this is really important. And that's why I say I don't do, wishy-washy, and, like fluffy stuff. You need to know these things, because this is what is going to build your business. And if you're building your business without an understanding of all these elements, you're not going to grow, right? So you need to set your goals effectively. And then when you set your goals, you need to have systems that will allow and enable progress so that you can get the results that you want. And also these numbers will help you, because if you're saying, yeah, I want to make a million this year, then it just tells you what you need to do in order to generate that million, and what are the strategies that you need to use in order to fast track those results. Okay, so let's talk about having powerful sales conversations. This is one of the topics that people ask me a lot. Again, as I said to you, sales calls are the best way to sell. If you are selling with the right, if you're setting the scene right and you're doing the things properly in your sales conversations, you'll sell more by having sales calls than by selling online, right? So number one, okay, these are really 8 steps for having sales conversations. I'm just going to go through it really quickly, because this is something that, again, we teach in our programs, and it really helps people look at sales from a perspective of a place of service rather than this awful thing that they need to do. Okay. So number one, you start the call by setting the tone and taking control. So you let them know what's going to be, what the call is going to look like, you know. So you say something like, great. So, hi, such and such, this call, we're on this call because you know, just to explore how we can help you, and at the end we're going to offer you if it's appropriate, but we want to explore what your problems are, blah blah blah. So you set the scene and you let them know what's going to happen. Otherwise people will hijack the sales conversation, and you don't want that. Okay, you need to be in control the whole time of the conversation and make sure that you follow these steps. The next thing is you want to develop trust. So obviously you're going to ask them a question about themselves, a little bit of chit chat. You don't want to spend 5 minutes on this. It has to be super brief. Next thing, remember, this is not a connection call to be friends. Okay, this is a sales conversation. Number three, you want to explore the problem and the pain points that they have, right? Because they are on a call with you because they need to solve a problem. So you want to hear what the problem is, and here, this step and the next one are the two most important steps of the whole conversation. Okay, so they're telling you about their pain points, they're telling you about their problem. You listen. Okay, you listen and you take notes. This is all you do. And they'll tell you, yeah, well, I did that and it didn't work. And so you can ask why questions. It's very, very, very effective. So I tried this. Oh, yeah. And so why did that happen? Well, because of that. And I have this problem and I have this problem. And okay, cool. Okay, great. So you're listening and you're taking notes. Okay. Now, after they do that, then you're going to summarize what they said to you, and then you're going to test the commitment. So I had a problem and I've got this and I tried this, but it didn't work. And I just feel so this and I feel like that. And I'm not selling and I don't know what to do. Okay, great. So basically, if I understood what you're saying, you have this problem, you have that problem, and you use the words that they told you, you're not selling. That makes sense. I get it. Yeah, that's really frustrating. Okay. So how committed are you? So you're going to test a commitment. How committed are you to change this problem? You want to ask, the reason why you want to ask this question is because, again, a lot of people have problems, but they're not committed to fix them, right? And so you want to make sure that this person is not wasting your time. Then once you've done that, then you can paint the picture for a compelling future for them. If you use automation, you could have more time, you would have more money, you wouldn't have to worry about XY thing that they told you. Does that make sense? And then you are going to present your solution. Only then, only after you present a compelling future for them. Okay? And then you ask for the sale. Now, asking for the sale is basically saying, so would you like to work with me? Or would you like to pay for the service? Or would you like to, when would you like to start? Or ask a question to close the sale. And then once they say yes, you congratulate them. Okay? Don't forget to congratulate them, because a lot of people, they find it really hard to make this decision. And when you congratulate them, you're really reaffirming their decision. This is really important. Another tip that I'm going to give to you is, when someone buys from you, or they told you that they want to buy from you, or they're ready to buy, as soon as they pay you, wait 24 hours and send them a reaffirm, a congratulations email that basically confirms that they made the right decision. Because as you know, when people invest in something, and now this doesn't matter how much money they spent with you, but the more money they spent, the more important this is to congratulate them for the sale again, and really reaffirm the fact that their compelling future is now really going to be a possibility in their lives, because they made the first step, which was to commit to the change. Okay, I'm telling you, these are tips we tell our clients. This works. All right. So, well, what about concerns and objections? That's one of the things as well that when we're talking about sales, we need to talk about concerns, objections. Well, most of the time people will say the price is too high. just know that when people says it's not in my budget, whatever, depending on who you're talking to, if you're talking to a company and they have a sales cycle and they have a budget and all that kind of stuff, that's a bit different. But when you're talking to individuals and they tell you that it's not enough money, it's not really about the fact that they don't have money. It's more about the perceived value. Do they perceive that the value that they'll get working with you will actually exceeds the pain of having to pay for the product and the service? Okay, this is super, super important. And so when someone starts talking to you about the fact that they can't afford it, typically the good thing to do is to revisit their commitment and to revisit their desired outcome, Okay, the next thing is timing. So that happens a lot in the, for companies, the closed sales cycle. The sales cycle is closed, or they've already invested in another particular product or service. And so what you do is you put them back in your follow-up loop, because maybe in 12 months they'll need your service. Maybe in 9 months they'll be revisiting their investment. Okay, so it's important that you keep that relationship going, because not now, no may just mean not now. Number 3, trust. So if they really don't trust you and they don't trust that you're selling too soon, then they're not going to buy from you. And so I encourage you to, again, what do you need to do is to keep nurturing, to keep demonstrating your authority and that you are trustworthy. Not ready, so there's no urgency. And one thing that happens a lot that people talk about as well when it comes to objections is they had a bad experience with a different provider, a similar service or a similar product, and they're just, again, they don't want to invest again. So it's your job to show them that you are different and to have those very specific differentiators ready to show that you actually can do a better job for them. Okay, so one of the good things about automation is that you can address all these objections beforehand, before they even come up, before you have the conversation with the person, by creating content that is all about handling concerns, dealing with objections. You put that on your blog, you have FAQ on your website, you put it on your social media. You talk about the objections before they arise, and that really helps, because then again it helps your lead become ready. All right, so let me know if this makes sense to you. I'm giving you like all the nuggets of wisdom that I have, and so I'm going to cover 2 more things before we kind of wrap up. The next thing I want to talk to you about is before you can start effectively, there are some things when it comes to your systems and that you need to have in place, okay? And if you don't have those things, you're actually not going to be effective. So hear me out. So the first thing is you need to have, again, I talked to you about the expectations, right? The conversion rates. Like, what's the likelihood for someone to buy from you online? 2% here, 20% there, 2% here. So this is what you use to create your sales goals. You don't just create sales goals on the fly. You use those numbers. And then if you have data that you've already collected from the past, from your track record, then you create conversion rates based on those, and you use the most conservative scenarios in order to set your goals. Now, the next thing you need a sales calendar. So one of the reasons why a lot of businesses do not sell consistently is because they don't have an automated and systematic way to sell their products and their services. They don't know when they're selling what, when they're promoting what. And so it's really important that you have a calendar where you say, right, this month we're gonna sell this product, or we're gonna do a cash injection offer. And so for our cash injection offer, we want to sell X product, and this is what we're gonna focus on. And so having that focus will allow you to actually sell more. Okay. Number 3, a promotional calendar. So if there's anything that you want to bundle up, or any specific key dates in your calendar that are industry days, or that are, like dates where people typically buy, and you want to take advantage of those waves in the calendar, then you should have a plan for that. Conversion events or sales events. So you need to have plans for that as well. We talked about how event marketing is one of the most effective tools to help you sell more. And you need a content strategy. You need sales processes. So again, we talked about that yesterday. And you need to be clear on how you handle your objections. So these are 7 things. I really encourage you to look in your business. How are you doing these things? And really, don't just read or listen to me. Literally have a look and do it. Write it down. Okay, this is when I'm doing that. Do I have this? Do I have a promotional calendar? If you don't, then get to it, and then create some procedures around it and get people to help you with that. All right. So when people say no to you, then here are some questions you should ask yourself. Number 1, did I understand their needs? Was I trying to sell them something that really they weren't interested in buying? That's the first thing. Number 2, did you communicate the benefits really well? Because again, people buy based on the perceived benefits that they will get. And so revisit that. Were they the right fit for me and my product? Not everybody that has the problem that you solve is the right fit to be working with you. So have that into consideration. Were the decision maker? That's another question that you need to ask. Okay. And sometimes, again, I said that before, but when someone doesn't buy from you, sometimes it's not now, right? So don't just discard them, put them in your follow-up loop, and have a strategy around that as well. All right. So all of these things that I'm teaching you and I'm sharing with you, this is what we do in our programs. We teach people how to sell effectively. We teach people how to automate their processes so that they can grow their business, so that they can really fast track their results, so that they can have more space for their own life. And, we start businesses because we want freedom. And then the last thing we have is freedom, right? So if you're ready to say goodbye to playing small, if you're ready to start playing big in your business and in your own personal life, if you want to gain more hours in your day so you're not constantly working, if you want to start living a life that is actually by design, if you desire to become a leader that really, takes people to the next level, but you take yourself to the next level and you transform people's lives and you transform your own, then honestly, if you're ready to automate and delegate, I really do encourage you to get in touch with us, explore our program. We offer a mentorship program. It's 6 months. We take you through this journey. We help you set up the systems. We give you all the tools, all the scripts, all the templates, the technology, things that are tested and that you don't have to be thinking about, they're proven, tried and tested, and you set them up in your business and they make such a massive difference. I work with a team of people who are amazing at what they do, and they have different expertise and skills. And so really, really consider giving us a call and signing up to our Savvy Scalers program, which is absolutely amazing. Okay. So this is a results-driven program. It's all about implementation. It's about strategy, mindset, and implementation, right? And we strategize to get your stuff, created in a way that works for you. We implement, we help you with all the mindset stuff around your implementation, because that's where people get stuck, because they get all the strategy and then it's great. And then the implementation. No, we push you so that you can implement, and we create the environment for you so that you can create space in your life to implement. And we also give you the help you with the tracking and the tweaking and optimizing when you're ready for that stage so that you can amplify and grow. Honestly, I really encourage you to get in touch with us for that. But if not, every single thing that we told you today are things that will help you grow your business if you implement them today. Okay, so awesome. So tomorrow we're going to talk about customer retention, which is really fun. And then, for the rest of the week, I really want to let you know that you have the capacity to grow your business. You have the capacity to automate and delegate. You have the capacity to build something that becomes a legacy for your children, for your children's children. You have the capacity to do that. All you need is the right support, the right environment that fosters implementation and action taking, and the right mentorship to cover you and help you move forward. Okay, so if you're available for that, then we have the answers for you. All right. Well, super excited to be talking about sales. I feel like I've been talking for hours, but I hope you found this really helpful, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.